YouTube. What's going on? I'm going to change my intro, I think, because I'm sort of bored of it. It's less than what it should be. In this video, I'm going to be doing a little meditation, just a quick one. Maybe like 2 or 3 minutes. So to begin, I'm going to pick a random page out of this book and we're going to talk about it, and then we're going to think about it when we meditate. Beauty begins the moment you decide to be yourself. Above all, be yourself. I've done a previous video about being yourself and the importance, and this really resonates with me because to be yourself is to be comfortable, to not rely on external factors to create a certain sort of sense of self-worth. And when you are yourself and you know it, you're not codependent on external factors to bring light into you, because the light is already within you and you know it. And by being yourself, you shed that light, you spread that love. We are also full of love, and as soon as we access that inner temple of it, that's when we can achieve a higher state of being and consciousness, and our relationships will flourish, because we won't rely on external factors. We won't look and pinpoint things that shouldn't be pinpointed. We shouldn't curate our relationships around people's opinions, stuff like that. So I'm just going to take a minute. Just close the eyes for a minute. I'm going to leave mine open. Actually, no, I'll close them with you. So it says, above all, be yourself. What do they mean by above all? Above all is just above everything, above every problem you have, above every fear you hold within you, above all the anxiety within you, above all the love within you, above everything, above your relationships. To be yourself is to come out on top of those problems and those beautiful things that we hold in our life. Because to be yourself is to not be anybody that you're not. And that's the beauty of it. Because to not be yourself is to be faking it. And what happens when we fake it? You create an egoic, essence of yourself, and you create a lot of problems for people around you and your relationships and yourself. So just be yourself. And the reason why you should be yourself is because the people that you hang around with, and if you're someone that you've had to adjust who you are because of fitting in and trying to get into the cool crowd and get into certain doors and just in general, you've had to curate and bend your personality and who you are to get into certain situations that you wouldn't otherwise have got the opportunity to. So just take a minute. If you are one of those people, just take a second and realize that you forgive yourself for that, but recognize the fact that you've done that, and that you want to promise and move forward with your life in a state of knowing that you won't go back to that behavior because it's unhealthy and unnatural. Now, when being yourself, even if that isn't somebody you particularly like for some sort of weird reason, not weird, sorry, forgive me, whatever reason you don't like your real self, you need to understand that you obviously have work to do on your real self, and the sort of front that you put on that isn't yourself is a mask for a lot of your inner problems and your real problems. So when we recognize that, we can come to the conclusion of self-worth and self-alleviating of pain and anxiety and angst and all these external things that, you know, hurt us, and, you know, depression. So when, you know, we are loved, we are made for love. It's the only thing that sustains life. The only, everything about it is we are love. You know, pain is love, because pain only comes from caring. Pain only comes from you know, the wishing of being with somebody without somebody, caring for their safety, etc. So, you know, pain is love, and the pain that we feel inside of us is out of love for ourselves, if not somebody else. And so just take a second to recognize all these factors inside you, all the way you feel turbulent, peaceful maybe, if you are, you're lucky. And just take a couple of breaths, you know, in for 3, out for 5, you know, do 5 of those. When you bring your attention to the breath, you'll naturally calm down, you'll naturally become more docile, and you'll lower your blood pressure, because you're allowing more oxygen to flow freely through your body, and your circulation will become better, and you'll work. Everything in you, your anatomy and your biology will all work smoother and better. So take a few deep breaths and just pinpoint the reason. You know, let the negativity flow, let it happen, let it come, let it sit, but be aware of it. Don't combine with it, because if you combine with it, then you are becoming the pain, you are becoming the thoughts, you're becoming the anxiety instead of witnessing it. Then bring your attention to the front of your eyes, but keep them closed, and realize that all that goes on within is behind the eyes, and not looked at through the eyes, unless you are in immediate danger. If then, you probably don't have time to sit and think about it. So with this time now, just try and envisage something like maybe a chalkboard, and you write down the things that you're anxious about or feeling negative about. You just write them down on that chalkboard, and then, you know, with whatever imaginative sort of way you want to do it, rub that off the whiteboard and get rid of it, eradicate it, and let it go, because it doesn't serve you a purpose of being happy and fulfilled and feeling of love, and you know, it doesn't serve us any purpose if that's the case and that's within you. So just calm down. Like right now, I'm feeling very anxious. I've got a lot of anxiety, very crazy, but it's okay, because I'm here, I'm held in light, I love myself, I have people that love me. Just life can be crazy sometimes. Life can, you know, emotions and external factors can get on top of you sometimes. So just sit and just acknowledge that, but then try and envisage something that allows you to project the removal of it. And when doing this, really mean it and remove the tension inside your stomach or wherever you hold your anxiety. Usually it is around the stomach and heart, so just relieve that and be present and focused on the breath and my voice. Life's hard, but whatever you're going through, you know, you could be going through a breakup, you could be going through a job problem, you could have got fired, family issues, somebody could have died in your family, a friend issues, countless things, you know. We all go through a lot, and we don't thank ourselves enough for getting us through the other side gracefully. So just remember, all the bad things that you've been through in life, you've come out better and more rounded and smarter and well equipped to deal with the next problem that arises out of life itself. Don't think of don't think of the problem. Don't think of the future as problematic, because you will manifest certain problems. But take them for how they come. Take them as they come. Don't always project and then follow up that standard. Become the standard. Don't follow a standard. Because when you follow a standard, you're following somebody else's mind, and you're following someone else's consciousness and programming and thoughts and beliefs. So when we do that, we are destroying ourselves. We are destroying ourselves. To be ourselves, we must follow our own guidance and our own path. Just remember that, and now open the eyes. Now, what do you feel when you open the eyes? Do you feel calmer? Do you feel worse because you've had to sit with yourself and think about all your problems? Or do you just feel more relaxed and slightly less crazy and calm? So I advise doing deep breathing exercises, because it brings a lot of oxygen into the body. The life source brings an abundance of light and love. So just stay healthy, stay positive, stay mentally free, because we live in a very broken society that tells us how we should think, how our relationships should go, what jobs we should be following, all these things. Just be yourself. Be yourself. Be willing and curate the life that you want to live. Peace.